Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels. Today, I want to talk to you about a really serious topic, and that is the possible impending shutdown of our government. I'm going to share with you why I think it's likely to happen, and also what I think our response should be, and what should happen to the congressmen and women who allow it to happen if it in fact goes forth. So come on, let's chat on this Tuesday talk about what's coming up possibly. I tell you, it never fails. Anytime I start shooting a video, a gardener comes out, kids start crying, all kinds of things happen. So I had to move into my van to finish this video. But back to the subject at hand. And these are the two reasons that I think that this shutdown may actually take place. Number one, I think that there are Congress people on both sides of the aisle who want this shutdown to occur. And you're probably thinking, why on earth would you say that? Well, let me tell you why. I think there are individuals who have been elected to Congress who want relevancy. They want to have an issue. They want to have something to run with. And they don't really have an issue that they've been able to stand out on. And if there's a shutdown, that would be a talking point for them. And these are individuals, many of them I believe, who care more about getting reelected, their careers, and what benefits them than they do about the people who elected them and put them in office. I do think, though, that it will backfire because it's going to harm a lot of people. And I think that they will find out quick and in a hurry that they may be held accountable this time if that happens. Number two reason why I think that it may very well happen. It appears to me, and tell me in the comments if you think I'm right or wrong, but it appears to me that so many elected officials these days are more concerned about talking trash and condemning and criticizing and downing their opponents than they are in solving the problems at hand. And I'll give you an example, and I'll challenge you to check this out. Look and see on some of the people who are interviewed, who are elected officials in Congress, in an interview, let's say it's an interview of maybe 2-3 minutes. Check and see if I'm right or not, but check and see if the majority of the interview is them talking about how terrible the other side is, how they don't do their job, how they're stopping progress, blah, 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 blah. And maybe 10 seconds is actually given to talking about the problem at hand, and even fewer time in the interview is allotted to an actual bona fide solution. So I just think that there are people who have ulterior motives and want this shutdown to occur. What do you think? Now I want to talk about some of the people who will actually be harmed by this shutdown and what will happen if this shutdown goes forward. If a shutdown occurs, the federal government has to declare whether federal employees are essential or non-essential. If an employee is determined to be non-essential, they're furloughed, and they're furloughed without pay. In 2013, this happened, and approximately 800,000 federal employees were furloughed without pay. And I know someone who was furloughed and didn't get paid during that time. They subsequently, Congress took action or something happened that legislation was put into place that actually paid them for the time that they were off. But can you imagine how stressful it would be? You have bills coming in. You may have automatic payments coming out of your checking account for your mortgage, for your car payment, for your utilities, for all manner of bills, and you don't have checks going in to pay these. That's just, to me, almost criminal that people who are elected to protect us and serve us would allow this to happen to federal employees. Let me tell you who else will be impacted if the government shuts down. In the event of a government shutdown, the VA hospitals and medical centers would still be operating, but their call centers would not be operating and their hotlines would not be in operation. So basically, if you have a military person who is going through a crisis and calls in for help, or calls in, to try and get someone to help them if they're in the middle of suicidal ideations or going through PTSD and they're calling in for help, those hotlines are going to be shut down. I mean, it seems like veterans often get the short end of the stick, doesn't it? In addition, national parks and monuments will be closed. So I presume that means national forest, perhaps Corps of Engineer, and other things related to the federal government. Those things will be closed. It's unclear how FEMA will operate or how they would be funded. So what's to happen if there's a national disaster? I mean, we've had so many floods and tornadoes, I think unprecedented number of tornadoes this year. How would FEMA respond? How would they be funded should we have additional, and it wouldn't be unusual, national disasters occur in the midst of a government shutdown? It's just, I don't know, it's just disgusting. Here's what I think should happen. You tell me if you think I'm right or if you think I'm, off in left field somewhere. But if the government shuts down, here's what I think should happen if the government shuts down. I don't think a single one of those Congress people should get paid. There have federal employees that are furloughed. I don't think the Congress people should get paid. If I'm on a job and I don't do my job, I don't get paid. Why should they get paid? They're shutting the government down, not paying federal employees who are furloughed. Why should they get paid? Not only that, I think they should be docked. I think their pay should be docked when they're back on the payroll. It's because they're there not doing their job, so why should they be getting paid when the government opens back up? If it shuts down, I don't think they should get paid for the time that they weren't doing their jobs. But hey, that's just me. What can I say? So let me know what you think. If you think I'm way out in left field or if you think that I'm onto something. Because I think maybe if you hit them in their pocketbooks, like they're going to be hitting some other folks, I think maybe it might get their attention. Also, I'm wondering, I'm told that Social Security benefits will still be paid, but I wonder how long that would happen for if the shutdown went for a long period or extended period of time. Would they continue to be able to pay Social Security benefits? And that's a whole nother thing, because if that happened, do you know how many people would not be able to pay rent, buy food? How many nomads wouldn't be able to even go anywhere? Because I've talked to nomads in Quartzsite when I've asked them, where their next move is. They've told me, oh, we can't leave until the first of the month because they're waiting till our Social Security checks get deposited. So I don't know. It's uncharted waters right now, but let me know what you think. I know this is kind of coming across as a little bit of a rant, but I don't know. I think when people are paid to do a job, they should do it. What do you think? All right. Until next time, stay tuned. Tomorrow I have a really interesting video I think you're going to appreciate. It's about something the city did that put a solo woman, made her homeless, but you'll see it tomorrow. And in case you're noticing my hat, thank you, Corell, and your grandson, Jaden. He went to Hawaii, and he bought this hat, and they gave it to me. And it perfectly matched an outfit I was wearing when they gave it to me. So anyhow, I'll see you next time. Let me know in the comments what you think.